excited. It is strawberry season, and I'm gonna be making some homemade strawberry jam fresh from the garden today. So first, let's head outside and pick some berries, and then we'll come in and start making it. Let's go. Okay, so my strawberries are doing so good. I already have a big bowl in the house, and that's what's inspiring me to make jam because I've got so much. But I have a whole bunch, as you can see here, that need picked all the way through. My garden is just full, so let's pick some berries. Look at these ones here. It's just loaded. So let's get picking. Okay, so I've got almost another full bowl of berries, and I've gotten out of the garden this summer already about, sorry, I had a fly on my hand, about 6 of these bowls, and then I'll come in here sometimes and just pick a couple because I already see that I missed some. But see how some of them here, like this one, it's got a hole in it. Something was nibbling on my berries. So I'll just come over here with one of them that I missed, and I'll throw them into my girls. They just love, they just love the fresh berries. So let's take this in and get out my other bowl, and we will start making the jam. Okay, so I've got my 2 bowls. This is the one I just picked. I had this one from 2 days ago that I picked, and that's what I mean by I gotta do something with them here because I'm not eating them quick enough, and jam is the perfect thing. So I got a box of the liquid Certo because there's no more of the crystal, and that's totally okay. Just gonna follow the directions on the box and do it with you. And all we need is one of the packets that are in here, and this box comes with 2 packets. We're gonna need 1 3/4 cups of crushed strawberries, 4 cups of granulated sugar, 1 of the pouches of liquid pectin from here, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And that's going to yield 5 cups of jam. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just going to cut all of these, I'm just gonna cut all of the tops off all of my berries and get them into a bowl, and then we will start making the jam. So let's go ahead, wash these up, cut the greens off, and I'm gonna save those so I can give them to my chickens and there's no waste, and then we'll get started on making the jam. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so because I grew them myself, we don't spray any of our food in the garden with pesticides or anything. It's all just natural, but there is things in the air nowadays, so I always just give them a quick clean. This is the only plant-based disinfectant in the world. Absolutely love it. I think there's a link in my bio. If you click, you can see where we swapped, where we shop everything now, and that's where I get this. So I'm just going to spray my strawberries down, and I gotta make another bottle. But it just looks like this. And then I'm going to let them sit for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, fill it with water, rinse them, and then I'm gonna start budding them, and then we'll go from there. So let me just give these a quick wash, and I'll start budding them. All right, so this just goes to show you, I wanted to show you how dirty the water is once you disinfect it. Even though it's growing in your own garden, So I've never really put it in a clear container like this before. This is honestly the first time I've done this, and I'm like kind of blown away right now. So that is from letting the berries sit for just a couple minutes, filling them with water, washing them around like that, and pouring it straight into here. So that is what the water looks like coming off of your berries from your garden. Doing this with berries from the store, it's probably even worse just because of all the stuff that is sprayed on your food. But anyways, there we go. So like I said, if you want some disinfectant like that, it's plant-based. It's the only EPA registered plant-based disinfectant ever. And there's a link in my bio, should be, to show you where you can swap where you shop and get that. All right, so let's go ahead now and butt these, and then we will get to making the jam. Nasty. I'm gonna dump that. All right, let's do it. Okay, so instead of having you watch me butt all of them, which you don't need to, I stopped it, but I'm gonna show you. So I've got, out of the berries that I had there, I've got, without them being mashed, about, I'd say 5 cups. So I've got that, and then I've got this bowl here of all of my butts. I'm gonna have my husband take these out to the chickens so they can have an afternoon snack. And now we can start on making the jam. All right, so I have my berries here, and I'm just looking over, so I opened the box of Certo, and there's 2 of these packets of the liquid pectin in it. Now, this little thing here, this pamphlet, comes in the Certo box, and it has recipes for no-cook jams, cooked jams, and cooked jellies. I'm going to start and try the no-cook jam and see how that goes. So we're gonna do that one together. So what we're gonna need is 1 3/4 cups of crushed strawberries, 4 cups of sugar, 1 pouch of the pectin, and 1 tablespoon of the lemon juice. So what I'm gonna do first, because I don't know once I get this crushed down if it's gonna be, I'm thinking it's gonna be a double batch, so I'm thinking we're gonna probably have enough to make 2 batches. But I first wanna crush this down and measure out 1 3/4 cups of strawberries into another bowl and see if we have another 1 3/4 cups to make 2 batches. So let's start with just doing that. So I'm gonna crush these down. I'm literally just going to grab this thing right here, give it a good crush down, and then we will come back and measure them out. But look how good these berries look, you guys. Like, so fresh, so good. Anyways, let's start crushing them. Okay, so it is all crushed up. I don't want to tip it too far because it'll spill out, but now that they're crushed, we have a full 3 cups. So we may have enough because it's a little bit over 3 cups. It's almost, guys, it might be perfect. So I'm gonna measure out 1 3/4 cups into another bowl and see how much we have left. I hope we can squeeze it out into 2. If not, that's okay, but let's measure out 1 3/4 cups of the crushed berries into another mixing bowl, and then we will add the sugar. So once we have the 1 3/4 cups of berries in its own bowl, we're going to, so it says mix prepared fruit and stir in, mix prepared fruit and sugar in a large bowl and let it stand for 10 minutes. So we're gonna measure out the strawberries into another bowl, and then we're going to add in 4 cups of sugar. We will stir them together, let them sit for 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. So let's measure this out and add the sugar. Okay, that worked perfect. So, I don't know if you see me celebrate there, but that was awesome. Okay, so both of the bowls look like this now. Just a crap ton of sugar with my 1 3/4 cups of berries. And now what we're going to do is just give them both a really good mix together. And then we're gonna let them sit for 10 minutes. And then we have to add in the liquid pectin and the lemon juice. So you'll be able to see this one because it's see-through. So because the berries, when you mix them, a lot of juice comes out, you're gonna see that it has the liquid to mix the sugar in. And this is definitely not a diabetic friendly recipe because my gosh, the sugar in this is crazy. But there you go, that's what it looks like. I will give you an angle from this way down so you can see, and then we're gonna let this sit for 10 minutes and we will move on to the next step. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like from the top to the bottom. So I'll just give it another quick stir. That's what your jam's gonna look like. This one's a little bit thicker, so I'm thinking when I took the berries out for the first bowl, a lot of the juice probably went with it, but there we go. So we're gonna allow this to sit for 10 minutes and then we will move on to the next steps. Okay, so while this is sitting, I just got out and got ready my lemon juice. If you want to use a real lemon, go right ahead. I don't have any real lemons right now, so this is what we're going to be using. But for the next steps, all we're going to need is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 1 pouch of the liquid Certo. So 1 of these pouches and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice will go in 1 batch. So I'm going to put 1 in here and 1 in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stir it for 3 minutes. Each one, they're gonna be constantly stirred for 3 minutes, and then we're going to pour them into, so what's cool about the no-cook jam is you don't have to use sterilized jars or anything like that to can them, which, I mean, if I was doing a lot of jelly or jam, I would probably go that route. But since this is just a couple, probably like 4 containers full, we'll probably use it up quite quickly. So, and the no-cook jams, they last up to 8 months in the freezer. So we're gonna go about that way, and we don't have to put them in sealed containers. They can just go into a clean container that can be covered with a lid because we're going to freeze them. So once this is done sitting for 10 minutes, which we've got about 8 minutes left, I'm going to add in 1 packet of Certo and 1 tablespoon to each, stirring constantly for 3 minutes. And then we're going to pour them into clean containers, filling up to 1/4 inch from the top. And then we're gonna cover it with a lid and let it stand at room temperature for 24 hours or until set. And then you can refrigerate it or you can freeze until ready to use. Now, these jams and jellies, it says here, no-cook jams can be refrigerated up to 3 weeks. So this can go into the refrigerator for 3 weeks if I'm gonna use it in that time frame, or you can freeze them for up to 8 months. So it says, sterilized containers are not required for no-cook jams. Plastic freezer containers or glass jars with lids no larger than 2 cups can be used. So I'm gonna get my containers together, and then just for a roundabout way too, if you wanna do like 1 cup containers and you wanna put them in the fridge when you take them out of the freezer, know that once they're in the fridge, they're good for up to 3 weeks. So in that time frame, you wanna make sure that you can use that jam up once it's in the fridge for 3 weeks. So if you don't think you can use 2 cups of jam in 3 weeks, don't put them into containers that big, but they can go up to 2 cups per container, no more, but you can do less. So I'm gonna get my containers, let these finish setting, and then we will add in the pectin and the lemon juice when these are ready to go, and then we'll do the next steps. Okay, so they've set for 10 minutes, or sat, I should say, for 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna add in, and I'm just gonna do one at a time, so I don't have both arms going, but I'm gonna add in 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So there we go, and then I'm gonna add in 1 packet here of the liquid pectin, and then we're gonna stir it all together constantly for 3 minutes without stopping. So there we go. Now I'm just going to stir it in, and we will show you what it looks like once it's done. Okay, so I just stirred this for 3 minutes. Now I'm gonna push it aside and do this one here as well. Only I don't need to record it. It's the exact same process. I'm gonna save your time, and then I'll show you putting them into their containers. Okay, so they're both done. And now what you're going to do is you're going to get your containers. So I found some of my jars here. Gonna see what I need, how much I gotta fill them. So you're gonna leave them 1/4 from the top. So basically gonna fill them to here. These ones here too, they're more of a jam jar, so I'm gonna fill it to about here. So I'm just going to start filling my containers and putting the lids on them, and then they can sit for 24 hours. Okay, so there we go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jars from those 2 batches. And now what we're going to do is I'm just gonna grab a cloth, and I'm just gonna, it doesn't really matter because you're not sealing them, but there's just a couple spots where I've got sugar on them, or jam I should say. So now you're just going to take your lids and put them on for all of them, and let them sit on the counter for 24 hours or until they're set. And how you know they're set is just like jelly. When you open it, it's stiff. It's not liquidy, and they're already starting to set. I can tell that by just having them here. So you're just gonna make sure all the lids are on. There we go. I'm just probably gonna leave them here, or maybe move them back here on this counter so they're not touched, for 24 hours. And then, like I said, you can put them in the fridge for up to 3 weeks. So I'll probably honestly put 1 in the fridge, and then the rest I'll put in the freezer, and they'll be good for up to 8 months in the freezer. And then when you need them, just take them out of the freezer 1 at a time and use them in the fridge. So there you go, guys. That's exactly how you make the no-bake strawberry jam with the liquid pectin. And yeah, I'm super excited for how this turned out. It was all of about maybe an hour to do, and I've got quite a bit of jam out of it. So give it a try for yourself. Let me know down below in the comments how it works out for you. And as always, thank you so much for following along. Click that bell, ring it, subscribe so you never miss one of my videos, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Bye.